Which raises, I think, the obvious question as a follow-up, what you make all these years later than what many regard as an attack on Planned Parenthood.
You know, Planned Parenthood is one of, and maybe by some measures, the single most popular supported organization in the country, because it has helped so many people. So something like 1 in 5, you know, it's huge. And the attack on it is, you know, only about 1% of what they do has anything to do with abortion. But it is part of an ultra-right-wing attempt to restore the basis of patriarchy, or a male-dominant system, and the necessity of a long-term racist system, which is controlling reproduction. And to control reproduction, you have to control the bodies of women. Women now are doing nothing less than seizing control of the means of reproduction. It even sounds radical, right? Mm-hmm. And it is. It's deep. It's very deep. You can't maintain race, or in India caste, as separations unless you control in the long-term reproduction. So there is a huge backlash against the majority opinion in this country that this is an individual human right. It's part of bodily integrity. The government shouldn't intervene. Politicians don't make this decision. But there are people on the other side who firmly believe the contrary, and that this is, and it is in fact, the beginning of the hierarchy they believe in.
How do you see these debates about reproductive freedom and about women's rights being primarily conducted in our body politic by men to begin with?
You know, what they are debating is not so much whether or not there will be abortion, because the surveys show that 1 in 3 American women had needed an abortion before it was legal and after it had become safe and legal. The difference is the punishment, the huge punishment. I mean, women lost their health, their ability to have children, their lives. But it is about authority. It is about control. So the question is, who controls a woman's body? Herself, which seems to me a requisite of, it's a basic human right. It's a requisite of democracy. But without controlling reproduction, you lose control of nationalism, which has 2 pillars, which is territory and population. You lose the ability to decide how many workers, how many soldiers, what class, what race, and so on. It's deep. It hasn't always been true, however. It's important to remember that it's on this subcontinent only the last 500 years. Before that, there were societies in which women controlled their own fertility and controlled agriculture, and men could, I mean, you know, a lot of the languages, like Cherokee, didn't even have he and she. You know, they didn't have a word for race. They didn't have a word for, we were part of nature. I say that because I think it's helpful to realize that we are not dealing with human nature here. We are dealing with a political system.
Mm. You argue in the text that one of the greatest determinants of our lives, Gloria, is whether or not we see the world as well